Welcome to the Bicentennial episode of the Ballinesian Podcast. 200 episodes. Thank
Thank,
you for joining us.
thanks for saying the
Uh,
number because I was sitting over here like,
do you do the math?
wow,
200.
bicentennial.
200 of them things. Yeah, thank you so much for tuning in once again to the Ballinesian Podcast. I am Lance here with Coach Forrest. We are here on the Polytickin Network. Samoans talking sports. Going to be catching up on a couple things. Not super breaking news this episode. This one's going to be more of like a step back breakdown and overlook of not just our pod, but our outlook for the next 4.5, 5 years, as well as a conversation going through some of our favorite Polynesians. What makes a Polynesian? Who are the sports legends? Who are the the top of the top, the ones that come to mind when you think Pacific Islander athletic excellence. So yeah, we're gonna get into that. Thank you guys again so much for sticking with us, staying tuned, and tapping in as we, you know, begin the next 200 episodes of the Polynesian Podcast. Shout out to the Polytickin Network, the Polytickin Podcast. Oh, hello, Marcus, FAM. Make sure to be tapping in and following the streams here on the network, whether it's the YouTube page or the Spotify streams, Apple Podcast streams. Definitely be following along and subscribed so you get every episode that comes out of the Polytickin Podcast as well as the Polynesian Podcast. Also, the Patreon, patreon.com/the Polytickin Podcast. Make sure you're signing in. $5 or more a month gets you 4 episodes, exclusive content just for the Patreon members, Patreon community, the chat. You can request, talk about things that we should talk about on those special exclusive Patreon episodes. And it's the best way to support us. We will see you guys there. New episode every Tuesday, exclusive just to the Patreon. All right. Episode 200, 4.5 years ago. We had Coach Forrest on for episode 6 of the Ballinesian Podcast, which then was known as Levasa Sports. Yeah, we had just started up interviewing and just talking with people, having people on the show. So it's crazy to think that was
Right.
in
Yeah.
2001.
Bro, we had some dope
Uh,
guests too over the course of the show in the beginning.
yeah, so many different people that we know doing great things
Yeah.
kind of shaped, like the image and the focus of this show. Seeing how many people were great at different crafts and had their own businesses or were doing great things as coaches, as athletes, kind of uh kind of focused us in on Pacific Islander athletes and athletics and events and games and sports, and choosing to focus on that for the last 4 years. So shout out to, yeah, those early episodes are still available on, the Apple and
On the
Spotify
on
audio
the street
streams,
channel.
on the SoundCloud. Uh, so yeah, if you want to hear Forrest, George, I think we interviewed Noke, Reina Ale,
Reina.
Dez,
We had Coach Fui
um,
on.
bro. Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of great Pacific Islander representation and people doing great things in their own rights is something that we strive to highlight on this show, and kind of explaining, exactly what the Polynesian is. Polynesian is a portmanteau of some ballers from the Nesians. Okay, you don't necessarily have to be an islander, which is Nesian, but yeah, especially our Pacific Islanders, Samoans, Tongans, Hawaiians, anyone out there that is trying to strive for excellence. Sorry to borrow the Tafuna logo. hey,
Wow.
hey,
Wow.
hey, hey. Not just like super athletic, great. Sure, you're Kevin Durant, whatever. You're great. That doesn't make you a Polynesian though, right? It's more than just athletic excellence. There's also a very Pacific Islander standard of, respect, grit, and duty. So there's also like a moral and cultural standard to being a Polynesian. But pretty much it does cover Pacific Islander athletes and people that we want to continue to get on the show, highlight what they're doing in their respective sports or fields, and also kind of show that to our listeners, to our viewers, to see that these examples of excellence are not only out there, but they look and talk like us and are from places like us and are from families and communities that we resemble and relate to. But yeah, thinking back, 4.5 years, June 12th, 2021, we had you on for episode 6. You've been part of everything since then. What do you feel like how you've changed from then to now as far as like potting, life?
I was gonna say, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure I was an extra large then. I'm a double X now.
Growth.
Bad growth. Bad growth. No, man, I think then it was more of I was stuck in, I guess what people say, the rat race. It's all about work, just trying to make money. Gosh, I think I was
Yeah.
working like 2 jobs at the time, but from then now, I mean, slow down a little bit. Just work the one job now. And I'm more into like hobbies, I guess, the stuff that I just put more time into that stuff. Like all the collecting I do, whether it be from the comics to the cards to there's books that I have, um, posters, just a bunch of stuff, man. Stuff I like to collect, mainly cards and comics. So, but other than that, man, I think I'm a lot more mellowed out than I was when we first started.
You used to crash out all the time.
No,
Not.
I never. No, man. Hey, I didn't have
You
to
always
crash
been
out,
super chill.
bro.
What?
We worked. No, see, you and me both worked the night scene in Portland.
Oh
And
yeah.
yeah, so I mean, there's always that group in the weekend that you get. So I mean, stuff like
Were
that.
you bouncing in 21?
I was like part
Oh,
time because
okay.
I was
See, so
still,
you were still out in the
yeah, I
streets.
was
You
still,
still out, yeah.
I was working at, I was a supervisor at Home Depot, and then on the weekends, like many of us Polynesians, would work the club scene. Um, I know Lance and all the boys from Top Flight had downtown Chinatown locked down in Portland. I worked more towards like all the college bars, I guess, close to PSU. So
Yeah. Other side of downtown,
yeah, other
south
side of
side, yeah.
downtown. But yeah, I mean now again, like yeah, I've always been chill. We've all of us that hang out together, we're all chill. But
Mm.
now I guess I have more time to do. Help my sisters take care of my parents now. That's more chill, more time into that. But yeah, man.
Having more time to take care of your family and do stuff that,
Yeah.
like you like doing. That sounds good. That sounds good.
And before everybody's like, damn, he's made that much money that he can just know less money now. Definitely. Less money now, definitely.
Oh, okay, okay.
But
Good trade-off. Yeah.
good trade off. Good trade off. I don't uh I work some pretty good jobs, but also very like I guess taxing
Mhm.
mentally. So
How can we make money from a podcast? Because
look,
we're gonna start
and
having to do some
if
punching.
people start coming at us like, man, you guys just do it because you guys are trying to no, because we're 200 episodes in and we've been doing this without the
Yeah.
money. So
Oh yeah. But bro, can you imagine if like we didn't have to work a job and could somehow make money from this? And I say somehow like there's not like set ways to do it.
no, for
I'm
sure.
scared to reach out. There if we instead of getting dressed to go to work, driving into work, spending time there, coming back, going back the next day, whatever. We could just use that time instead to plan on what we're going to talk about, how to make
Man,
entertaining content, how to make informational,
for
educational,
sure.
helpful, videos and stuff like that. I would,
In
in
a
a
heartbeat.
heartbeat,
In a heartbeat.
trade my
And,
9 to 5 salary for being able to do this full time.
Yeah.
But
Also,
I gotta support it.
for
We
sure.
got
No,
families
we
to
got
take care
families to
of. Yeah.
support. But also, it's not like we're
Mm,
saying all this because we want like some easy job. Because there's a lot of hard work that goes into doing a show like this. I mean,
mm.
even now that we don't get paid for it, just more so on your side and like who does all the editing for Polytickin? You and Marcus, or is it mostly Marcus that does a lot of the editing?
The editing,
Yeah,
like the clips and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, Marcus.
yeah. So even on that side, so you do it for us, Marcus for Polytickin, like
Or like
more,
posting the
yeah,
episodes.
you guys
Yeah.
do a lot of that stuff and but just the prep stuff. And if you made it into a business where you're getting paid, we both know, and
Mm.
so do Marcus and stuff. I know that there's a lot more that goes into it. So it wouldn't be just like we wake up in the morning, hang out, and be like, "Yeah, let's go shoot this podcast." We know it's
Bro,
not
the
like that.
planning, the
Yeah,
writing, the preparing, the research, the
this is
fact
that.
checking, like that is stuff that's not seen as part of
No,
the bill, or the breakdown or whatever. But
yeah,
that all does go into it. I feel like at the beginning, especially when we first started, it was kind of scary, just thinking like, is this how you do it? Is this something you do? But now over time, and this is something I think you and Eri talked about at the beginning. Shout out to Eri, by the way.
hell yeah,
Eri Jose down there in Modesto, California, Livasa Island Apparel. Uh, when we talked about starting a podcast for like 3 years before we we even tried to do it. But um, the thing about like being unsure whether you're doing it right after so many episodes, every week you're banking another example of this is how you
yeah,
do it. This might not be the most optimal or ideal or efficient way to do things, but this is how you continue to get it done. This is evidence that you are doing and continuing to do when, a lot of people and a lot of podcasts, a lot of great information stays in the idea phase. So having, a start at podding, having, getting up to videos, getting up to 200 episodes is a testament to like the consistency, the dedication, and also the proof that, what we're doing has worked. But there's the optimization, monetization part,
for
which
sure.
the only thing I'm worried about, bro, is like, and I don't mind selling out to make money and be comfortable, right? Not like a full on sellout, but like doing enough that it's like, oh, you want to advertise, whatever, we can work something out. Um, I don't ever want that to compromise the message or the trust
For sure.
that people have in us. And we might like wild out sometimes, but you know, when you're listening to the Ballinesian podcast, these are thought out, you know, ideas, timelines, situations, projections that we're thinking about. And that like we're really into the sports of it. It's not just off the top trying to, making stuff up as we go. So I know that people trust when they're listening to us, like most of the information is right. Sure. I feel like I listen back to sometimes and I'm like, oh, that's the wrong stat, or I was talking way too fast and I said the wrong name, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But that from in our hearts, the information is right, and we're trying to get it to you and trying to also make it entertaining and informational at the same time. Um, yeah, but I don't want like to be getting big money and then all of a sudden we're like, you know oil drilling is the way to go for the Ballinesian podcast.
Hey,
Drilled baby, some crazy
but
stuff like that. It flips our whole thing just because we're getting $8
I'm
million an episode. I mean,
I'm willing to put it to the test.
let's see if you can corrupt us.
I
Let's
I
see how much it takes.
I put my money on us, but I mean,
Yeah, same.
I would
I
like for you to put your money on me
Yeah,
to
try it out. Try
challenge
it out.
it.
Yeah. So that is definitely something I think would be super helpful to us. Let's work on that.
For sure.
This year, trying to partner with someone. But man, it's you think about the economy right now. Is anybody spending marketing dollars? No, like,
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
so I mean, I don't, you know what? But I don't want a negative self talk. That immediately is like, shut it down. No, no,
yeah,
no. We do need, and I'm sure we can find some way
for sure. Just
for to make that happen.
pay Lance the big money. I just need money for my cards and my comics, and I'll be
We
fine.
we need the money, please. To be able to do this full time would be awesome. I feel like that is much more my lane of where I want to be in life than just working and
For
doing something.
sure.
If I could take care of my family while also advancing this and highlighting Pacific Islander athletes and athletics, I think I need to make that, you know what? We need to do that. We just need to do that. We need to stop saying we're going to, and we need to figure out how, because that is just, I feel like I'd be more happy and joyful just every day learning about a great new athletic feat. A
Yeah,
great new record being set by some, kid out there in Utah, or, someone out there in New Zealand. Some man, it's happening all over the place, and we need to highlight it more. All right. You posted a video recently, going over, some of the cards that you have. Now usually it's like trading game cards, but this one was a little different in that it was Pacific Islander athletes.
oh, yep.
And seeing that made me think of, growing up and not having, those cards available all that much. So the cards themselves were rare, but then seeing a Pacific Islander athlete on a sports card was even more rare, right? So even when I was younger and not collecting cards, I feel like I understood the rarity and also the importance of having a Pacific Islander child seeing a
Yeah,
Pacific Islander sports
for sure.
card.
Yeah.
But just tell me more about what you got in that folder. And actually, could you start with, like, did you collect cards growing up, and how was that? You were in American Samoa, so what was that like?
Yeah, growing up in American Samoa, I did my first ever, I guess, my introduction to cards was shout out to my big brother Anthony Lola out in San Diego. Um, he just one day I came home from school and there was these two like medium-sized boxes just full of cardboard. It's what it looked like when I first got there. And my mom was like, well, your cousin Tony, he dropped you off. These are all his old cards. And then when I went to it's all they were baseball cards at the time. A lot of tops, what else at the time? I remember a lot of tops, but there was tons of these cards. And if I think about it now, and I say some of these cards, of course, growing up in American Samoa, I was like, oh, they were really cool to me. Especially when I went to the cards and I found a couple of Tony Soloita cards. And going back to what you said, seeing that last time, he was my neighbor down the street, in fact, uh,
Mm-hmm.
in Orderville when we were living there. So, but going through the cards and be like, oh, hanging out with their kids, like shout out to Tolia. These guys are older than me, of course, but he was good friends with my older cousins, my brothers in Samoa, Tawalai, and then I was closer to in age with their younger sister and their brothers, the younger brothers. But anyway, yeah, seeing that, knowing that there was an old retired Major League Baseball player that lived literally like five houses down from me. Someone was like,
Nice.
"That's cool." Like, and like a dummy, I should have just at the time I didn't know I was super young. I could have really just walked over there, had the card signed, and I would have had, you know, uh, cards signed by Tony Solita with me. But yeah, I mean, that was my intro to it. I went through all those cards. I kept them for a long time. They were cool to go through, but I wasn't like there was nowhere where I could really go get like new cards. So that's what I live with. And then as I was getting older, spending the summers in the States with my cousins on vacation or just being with them in the States when I was getting older, it would always just pique my interest when we go to the store and they'd have boxes of cards there and I would grab them. And I remember one summer I came back home and all the kids were like, "Oh, cool, let me see your cards." And all it took was for one kid like, "I'll give you my lunch money for that stack of cards." And mind you, I didn't know the value of any of these things. Right. I was like, "Wait, what?" And uh what they call base cards now are just really like, if you had to put a value on all of them, like single just base cards, all of them are probably going to be worth around like at the most like 80 cents. But the stack of cards, and this kid goes, "Hey, I got $10 in my pocket. Let me have all those cards." Bet. And the next time I was able to go to the States, I was telling my mom, I was like, "What do you want?" I said, "I just want a bunch of box of cards." A bunch. And she's like, "Oh, she's really into collecting," which I was. But what it was that was the hustle. And I came home and
You were the supplier for the
man,
island.
and I didn't even need to sell them by packs because I could really just open it, get what I wanted from the packs, and just have a stack of 10 or 12, and then I'd sell it like that at school. And also shout out to my guy, my best friend in elementary, Walter Nickel, who's still a big card collector today. Me and him talked. We Not too long ago we were talking about, he still has some of the cards, not the exact cards, but some of the cards that we had when we were younger, and he went and looked for them, like just those cards, because it reminded him of when we were younger. In fact, I got one right here. uh Bo Jackson, sorry, so Bo Jackson score 1990, and he showed me he had one of these cards, so I had to go find one too. But yeah, that was in Samoa. It was tough. They didn't really have anywhere that sold cards. They maybe like at the duty free, like I was telling you earlier, the duty free, they sold stuff like that, and they had the duty free that was at the Rainmaker Hotel. And every Sunday, if my parents were like, wanted to, they didn't want to cook, and we just want to have a really good meal, we go to the restaurant at the Rainmaker Hotel. But at the Rainmaker Hotel, they also had the duty free that was there in the lobby, and they sold a bunch of good comics. They sold cards too, like, and wasn't anything big. They maybe had like one box there for like, I don't know, 6 months, and then get a new one, something like that. Transpac also sold a bunch of comics, so that's where I would get that stuff from. But cards wise, yeah, I just had to wait till I got to the States to get my fix, and then yeah, and then as you get older, just growing up back home, getting into college, I would always walk in. I wasn't as big as a collector, but anytime I was in the store and there was like boxes of cards somewhere, I'd pick up like two. Just pick up two, you know?
You never know what could be in here.
Right, exactly. And so, and now that I'm older, and I just, like, again, like we were talking about, I have the financial means to grab them, and just the time to go through them. It's fun for me. Uh, just all kinds of cards, because I collect uh what is it, Pokemon cards. I'll do One Piece. There's a new set out. I watch anime, so they just came out with the set. If you guys watch Solo Leveling, if you guys watch that, go look for some of the cards. Amazing cards. And of course, I do sports cards because I love sports. But
Wait, how often are the sports cards available? I feel like I see the sports cards more than the Pokemon cards out
for
there.
sure, there's always going to be, because there was two major companies, and only one of them gets the license to do major sports. Panini's had it the past, I don't know how many years, and they're just now losing their license. So Topps came out with their basketball NBA cards September. That's when they got
Oh,
the license for that. But Panini still had it for
NFL.
NFL. So now they're about to lose that license next year. So all the cards that they're putting out now, like, again, if you guys wanted to buy something, I know Pokemon is really big sealed, but if you guys wanted to go out and buy boxes of Panini football anywhere, that now that they're still licensed and they're allowed to have the names of teams on the jerseys on the cards, you could honestly go buy some of these boxes and stock them for a few years. They'll be worth some like crazy value on some of these sealed boxes of Panini football cards.
And how often would you
Pretty,
say when?
they're
Oh,
pretty. You can find them. They're out there.
oh yeah, the Panini. I think I got the Panini ones when I like from Target or something when I was.
Yeah. So Target's a
No,
good
no, no.
place. Target's a good place. Walmart's a good place. Dollar Tree used to be a pretty good place to get some stuff.
Smaller ones, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But all right, how often when you're opening these packs would you say you find like a Pacific Islander?
Oh
Is
man.
it like one every
So
three packs?
before it used to be
10?
maybe the odds weren't great before because there weren't that many players that they would put on cards. Like, of
Sure.
course,
Yeah.
yeah, they only put so many players. They don't put not every NFL player has a football card. So they'll only put a bunch of guys who they think like I guess teams give you a list of guys they want to put on these cards. So you have guys like so when I was growing up, one of the first cards that I seen, because Junior Seau wasn't in the NFL yet, was a Jesse Sapolu card and a Dan Tunney card. So those were like it was big for me seeing that on a card. Like, oh, that's pretty cool. But also, if you didn't have to be a Frisco fan to be a fan of Jesse Sapolu, because again, there weren't too many names that you could see on TV playing because he was one of the only starters out there. So was Mark Tunney. Dan Moore was one of those guys too, played for Kansas City. He's a D tackle there. Of course, you had all the Nonga brothers, but Al was probably the biggest name out of the Nonga brothers. So if you got his card, it was pretty cool. Um, man, I think one of the coolest things when I got my first Vice Hemo card, it was like, oh wow, like I had never heard of him playing in college, and he
Hmm.
was playing for the Cardinals at the time. I got his card. Uh,
This
Alfred,
is while you're in Samoa?
this is while I was in Samoa.
Damn.
Alfred Pupunu, he had a card out when he was with the then San Diego Chargers.
Gang, gang.
Yeah, and there's been, but I remember opening the same pack that I got that Bo Jackson from the same year. Score puts out rookie cards, but they have all the rookies in their college jerseys. And I pulled this guy from USC. And at the time, USC football I was a fan of because I was a Raiders fan, of course, California. So, um, and I pulled this number 55 from USC, and I'm looking at this card. I was like, oh, cool. This guy's about to get drafted, and it doesn't say when he was. It didn't say when he was drafted on the card, or I just bypassed it. Had no idea of how good Junior Seau was in college for the 1 year he actually played. And then like all of a sudden you're looking at Junior Seau and I was like, damn, like that's so fire that I got his card. And now that I think about it, it's not worth too much now, like monetary wise. But for me, if I had still kept those cards at the time, would have been really big for me because yeah, I mean, one Junior Seau at the time was again USC. So it's cool. They still had the Pac-10 at the time. They were the Pac-10. And if you wanted to see Polynesians play football in college, you were definitely a fan of the Pac-10 because they had George Malaulu down in Arizona. Marcus Tuiasosopo played at Washington. Of course, Jun Seau, Ray Maulunga, um, Lofotatu. You could name a bunch of guys that played at USC, Samoan dudes. And then even guys like there was a guy who graduated my year, or maybe a year before me from Whanga'itua, who played defensive end at USC, and I had no idea. His name was Travis Toffee until I was watching a game against Notre Dame, who was my actual football team when I was in high school, and they put on the lineup, and it just so happened that Travis Toffee was playing that game, and I was like, "Oh, that's crazy! I heard there's Travis Toffee. There was a Travis Toffee that played at Whanga'itua, and find out it's the same guy." So I mean,
Uh,
again, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say like well, I guess I was the most famous person like from just like the island from like your class or something. But I was also thinking along the lines of just overall Polynesians. You're talking not just people that were on cards, but like made a huge difference. If you were thinking, I don't even want to say Mount Rushmore, but it is what it is the
I,
image that comes up. But top four, who your top four Pacific Islander athletes? Because I posted this question to the Polynesian page, and the pictures that I posted up, you got Valerie Adams, who's won the Olympic gold medals for shot put. You got Junior
sure.
Seau, Troy Polamalu, Hall of Famers in the NFL, Tony Solita, especially growing up on Solita Field. Uh,
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
just Goliath. I didn't know his playing career, but just that legacy to have your name on the only field,
Bro,
uh,
he was a
or the
home
big
run.
field in American Samoa.
Yeah, he was a home run king
Yeah.
in the Major League Baseball league for like a couple of seasons.
That
Super good.
is
Yeah.
crazy. That is
Yeah.
crazy. But if you and I have a couple of top four suggestions from the Instagram poll that we can read out. But
Oh, let's hear that
four,
first. Go
oh,
ahead.
okay. Um, let's see. My sister said take off Troy, oh, and put in Tim Cahill. And I don't know who Tim Cahill is, right? I had to look him up.
What is he? What is his sport?
Football. Big time soccer. Tim Cahill went to 4 FIFA World Cups
Wow, I didn't know that.
and
Interesting.
scored in them. And yeah. So and then he played in England and then MLS, and I think he for like 30 years. Um, Comedian James Monnet also mentioned him as one of those that he put as top
Yeah.
four Pacific Islander athletes. Uh, Comedian James Monnet adding four without using any of the four pictured there. Greg Louganis,
See,
Tim
I was gonna say
Cahill,
that. Yeah.
Louganis, yeah.
Yeah.
Jonah Lomu and David Tua. Uh, yeah, and then Gilifi, Chief Dog 89 wrote in. He said David Tua as well. Brian Lima, Junior Seau, Troy
Oh yeah.
Polamalu.
Yeah.
Shout out to Menamoli, cinematographer. Yokozuna,
Oh,
which
nice.
hell
Yeah.
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 Polamalu, Jeremiah Masoli, and Easter Fafiti. Do you
Was that
know Fafiti?
uh-uh.
I had to look her up. I was not familiar. But baseball, softball.
Hmm.
I have it here. Basketball.
Oh.
Is right now assistant coach.
I imagine she's from the Bay.
Yeah. I would also mean San Francisco.
Yeah,
Uh,
Mena mentioned it, so I'm pretty sure she's big in the Bay.
and then it's Treese, Troy Polamalu, Jesse Sapolu, Haloti Nada, Junior Seau. Yeah, so those are some of the different top four Pacific Islander athlete submissions. What would you say? Any of those athletes stick out to you? And then what would you say your four would be?
Sure, Greg Louganis for sure, because I grew up in those times and we watched the Olympics as a family at the time. Greg Louganis,
1984, 1988 Summer Olympics.
all the gold medals he was able to go with, and then you didn't know he was Samoan, and then when he came out, it was like, oh man, you were so proud because you got to watch this guy just murder everybody in
Mm.
diving, and then he had the incident where he had hit his head on the diving board.
Oh no.
Yeah, and but he hits his head, goes into the dive, comes out, his head's bleeding. You know, they have the cameras, all the shots. You look it up, you'll see the shots where he's in tears, like he's holding the towel on his head, bleeding. Still goes back up, finishes with another gold medal, even after that happening. So,
Wow.
yeah, so I mean, yeah, Greg Louganis
Mm-hmm.
for sure is one. And then for me, you'd be Naomi Mulitaupele because she was the first ever woman to play in the WNBA.
Nice.
Well, for me that I know of, that was any kind of Polynesian. So that was, and then Jonah Lomu, of course, because if you saw his funeral when they had it, it was crazy. Go look it up. The videos from his funeral are crazy. All the respect that this guy got during the funerals, everybody that showed up. I think like all of the South Pacific mourned Jonah Lomu when he passed. So definitely those three. And then if it had to be football, just because of the way he really changed the game, was Junior Seau coming into the league. Troy Polamalu might have, of course, more Super Bowls for sure, um, and maybe personal accolades. But I think in the way he also has changed the game a lot. But I think the way Junior Seau came in and changed the game, the way that he played defense as a middle linebacker, they had stories of him, like he would say stuff like he really lifts arms so that way no one could ever break an arm tackle. Like a lot of the times he would just tackle people with one arm because that was his mindset. He's gonna be so strong in his arms that no one could run through those tackles. So those four definitely. But you think about it, there have been people like um Miss Missy Becker, who was also a hammer thrower at the Olympics.
Nice.
Um Man. And then locally for me, like growing up, there were so many athletes in American Samoa. A lot of them football, baseball, basketball. I could man, I could probably name like pages of people that I thought were like great. One of them being your uncle, Samoa Samoa. Because a lot of people will know him for his time spent in the NFL. I know him even before that was one probably one of the biggest shit talkers in basketball, but also one of the very guys who could back it up. If he told you he was gonna do something to you on the basketball court, Samoa's about to do it to you. You know what I mean? So, um, and he ran with a bunch of guys that played on the team that were sponsored by a shoe store in Samoa called Shoe Tree. That was their name. And every guy that played on that basketball team was probably like they were my those were the guys I wanted to be. That's the team I wanted to play for growing up. You know, that whole team was probably part of uh, the American Samoa national team every time they went to like a South Pacific games. Um, yeah, I mean, Samoa just named one of my coaches, Milton Safasa, was part of that team. Oh man, and then baseball. I went to Marist. We didn't lose a baseball
Oh,
championship for like years.
yeah.
Like we
You guys were
owned
good at that
baseball.
baseball
Oh,
thing.
oh my gosh. Guys like Ted Gebauer, who had a stint in the major leagues. He played minor league baseball. He got signed out of American Samoa. Um, what is his first name? Robert Penny. Robert Penny was great. He went to Samoa and he played baseball. A bunch of guys who played for like Tech. Duke Solita, Chris Solita, who played for Marist. The whole Solita family when they played baseball in Samoa as I was growing up in high school, they killed it. Man, one of my best friends, Jeff Felice, he played on the national team as well. Cousin of mine, Feliz Fernando, all these guys played baseball in Samoa. And that was big for me because I went to Marist, of course. I played Little League growing up in American Samoa, baseball at Marist. Man, this could go on. There's volleyball players I could name from back home that were great, like
Mm,
could jump out the building. I've seen
I love
dudes,
it.
I've seen
Well,
dudes pop a volleyball off a
and
spike. So yeah,
damn.
yeah,
Well, and that's the other thing too, right? We can think of so many examples, especially when you're growing up out there in Pacific Islander, like on Pacific Islands. It's way different than finding examples here in the States, where
for
it's like,
sure.
sure, there might be more than people around the island. There might be more Samoans, on the West Coast than there are in American Samoa.
Yeah,
But in the Pacific, not just Samoa, but the other Pacific islands, New Zealand, Tonga, in the Pacific, mostly everybody's brown. Mostly everybody's an
yeah,
islander. You're talking about people from those places. So it's a lot easier to find all these dope people doing, really awesome sports and like being to that excellent standard when everybody's out there, because all the great sports people are people, they're brown. Um, what would you say if you're locking in your top four? Give me Coach Forrest's top four Polynesians of all time.
Greg Louganis for sure.
Okay.
Just because of the stuff he did, and it's outside of any of the sports that you kind of correlate our people playing. It was diving. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Olympics. Jonah
The
Lomu,
best in the world.
exactly. Jonah Lomu because of the reach that he had.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, rugby's different. It's kind of like soccer. It's international. Like,
Global. Yeah.
of course, everybody plays basketball. Not every country plays football. They probably watch it, but rugby is like soccer. Everybody plays that.
Mm.
Junior Seau again, like I said, for the way that he changed the game, man, and he was out there, like he was so visible to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Man, that's three. The fourth one is tough because there's so many like great players out there.
Yeah, to just have the best one out of them.
Yeah, Tiger Woods.
Yeah, nah, Eldrick. Come on, Eldrick.
Oh man. Those three for sure. It's hard to name the fourth because I would put so many people into and not just as you know what. Never mind. Easy for me because this guy for me growing up was probably the best volleyball player ever. Alan Allen. He played at UH. Um, but he also played for the men's USA team. Bro, I'm telling you,
Nice.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody jump out of a building the way he could jump. And if I say correctly, he was maybe about 5'10". I might be a little generous with that, but um, bro, Alan
Alan
Allen
Allen.
definitely is probably the best. Yep, probably the best volleyball player I've ever seen. I was young at the time, so yeah, man. I mean, of course, I could name like you could name like Joy Polamalu, just yourself, guys like that. If you're younger, you're
Mm.
Peyton Siva because he was one of the first guys that you could see playing
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
recognizable playing college basketball. No one knew who James Johnson was at the time. If you guys don't know, James Johnson is half Samoan as well, plays in the NBA. But yeah,
Play security.
yeah, yeah, man. Those four: Greg Louganis, Jonah
I
Lomu,
like that.
Alan Allen. Those,
There
yeah,
there are some like more global things, and that made me realize just kind of how American, focus, North American focus that I'm being, just like on the sports, because you think about like Pacific Islander athletes, and for me, it goes to 90% American football,
sure,
like just football players, linemen, linebackers, running backs, Um, but I want to make a focus to like open up that scope, open up that eye, so it's like
yep,
we're getting a lot more of uh the greatness that is and excellence that's happening all around the world. Uh yeah, 200 episodes in, freaking, and that's in the last 4 years. What do you any wants or goals or wish lists for the next 200 episodes, the next 4 years?
yeah, man. Just to be a millionaire. No, I'm joking. Um,
$1,000. Let's start.
man, you know what? If we could, like every month, have. I know it's tough because there has to be some kind of. I don't know if it's gonna have to be monetary or anything like that, but to have people come onto the show and talk, like, guys, like,
Mm-hmm.
again, we know some people that who play pro sports, but you can't just ask them to come on the show. It's not, again, just like how we're saying, there's prep to doing a full-time show like this. There's also
Mm-hmm.
prep to being an athlete in the off season, during the season. These guys don't always have the time, and of course, time is also money for a lot of these guys. So I'm not. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
don't think we'll be able to pay anybody to
No,
come
and
on.
so
Well, yeah,
yeah,
we'll have to. We're gonna have to find ways to
for sure,
just get people to come
compensate.
on.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, and that's the thing I was thinking about, like just watching other interviews and stuff. They're usually selling something, or they're like, hey, yeah, you're
sure,
coming doing an interview, but
yeah,
also I'm selling tickets to this fundraiser, or
yeah,
to
yeah,
this charity event,
definitely.
or I started a new cologne, or I started a new shoe, or I started a new partnership. So
Yeah,
maybe if someone's kind of on the media rounds where they're trying to drop something like that, we can
yep,
also get our name in there and be like, you
yeah,
can also come and talk to our people about that. We'll also have some,
yeah. I mean,
questions and
and
stuff.
and not even just like guys that play sports, like.
Mm.
I know
Right, right, right.
we talked to like Pete Little. PD was on
Mm.
here. I mean, when they want to come on and talk shop with us, like sports talk, that'd be cool. And then
Yeah.
he could talk about like what he's doing, but at the same time, talk about sports. Have Marcus and Seth because they have a really big following, and I know Marcus is a Raiders fan. Seth is a Niners fan. It's okay, Seth. Not everyone's perfect, but um yeah, I mean, guys like that. We had Noah on the Tyler Smith. We had him on the
Yeah.
show a couple times. Doesn't have to be. And again, like we said, Pete can come talk about his whatever he's doing with cinematography, the clothing line, and then just chop it up sports wise. We have guys like the guys from For Samoa come on, same thing, talk about what they're doing. It'll be a mix of things, but of course we want to hear what they have, their opinions on some of the sports things going on, and if they have
That's good. Yeah,
anybody,
that's a good idea.
if they have anybody that they want to like highlight, come on, because there's a lot of athletes coming up through the ranks right now. We have nephews, we have nieces that are playing in every sport. It's not just like it's not the same anymore. We used to talk about kids like, hey, what team does your nephew play football for? A lot of kids are getting into soccer now, or football.
Football.
Yeah.
Another
Tennis
content
people
idea. Coach Forrest breaks down the tape. Watch the tape of like somebody, like an up and coming Islander athlete,
for
and
sure.
just put a like a highlight tape together of them. Oh, this is what they did, and kind of break down the coaching behind it. That'd be dope.
Yeah, that way they can come on and tell me that I'm super wrong. I'd love it.
No,
No,
we
I'm
just
saying
put that. Yeah, we
that'd
just
be
put that
cool.
out.
That'd be cool. Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of things. I mean, especially, uh, yeah, it'd be cool to make it out to like pro sport games, but I really want to make it out to a lot of these high school games and see these up and coming players come out.
Wow.
That'd be cool, man. Just um, imagine if we were doing this when Brandon Beatty was living next door to you guys, and you guys were able to like kind of, if you guys had footage of him in high school, putting out
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that during draft week. You know what I mean? That'd be hella cool. Like if we had like footage of like Viveno
Oh,
Yoane, Viveno Yoane,
yeah.
stuff like that, and then we could talk about it. Just yeah, man, stuff like that would be cool.
That's a great. I mean, we can try to do that for NFL draft
For sure.
here. We can try to find
Yeah,
some tape and watch it
if I
and,
said yeah,
kind of highlight it.
and we
Some
know
of
a
these
lot of people. Like,
ideas. Some of
look,
these
we
ideas.
got Katie playing basketball in Europe that were close to her family.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only is Katie playing, but Junior's two boys, they just won a tournament here in Seattle this weekend. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. Keone and Kenesi,
Mm-hmm.
they won a championship, a basketball championship tournament here in Seattle. They were the only team from Portland. They came out here and
Ooh.
they won it last year, so back to back championships for
Let's
them.
go, Portland.
There you go. It'd be cool. It doesn't have to be pro sports, because we could just
No, no,
yeah,
no, no. Yeah.
and
Uh,
yeah,
just like showing that it's possible is a huge thing that we want to highlight.
yeah,
Not
man,
just winning, but also playing, being healthy, active, competitive, fun. Sports.
definitely.
That's the whole reason we're into sports.
Hey, look, we
It's
need,
competitive and it's fun.
if anybody's flying down to American Samoa for Flag Day, we need you to go live during the race so that we can put that on the show.
Oh. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
gonna okay.
Uh,
The
Shout out.
Fantasy race.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
man.
the video. You
So
saying the video? We need the live video, or you
man,
want them to live call
we
the
need it,
race?
or they could just go down whatever they have footage, or we could do like a little vlog session with them. We can put it on the show and
Mhm.
they can come on and talk about it. Because if you guys don't know, we do have our own Super Bowl in American Samoa, and it's around this time, and everybody right now is getting
Yeah.
prepped for it. It's a big race. Uh, you guys, they have rowing out here. We have our own type of rowing in American Samoa. It's a 50-foot boat, and it's yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy race.
Like 100 people.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. Shout out to us for 200 episodes.
Hey, shout out to you,
Uh,
man.
shout out to thanks. Shout out to our listeners. Uh, for tuning in. To us here on the Polytickin Network, who have crossed over from the 100+ episodes before to now. So yeah, 200 plus more. And we thank you for your time and your trust in our sports show, Samoans Target Sports, here on the Polytickin Network on the Ballinesian Podcast. And shout out to you, bro.
Man,
You
I
say
don't
shout
do
out to
nothing,
me,
man.
but no, no, no,
I
no.
don't do
This
nothing.
show does not move, without you and without, what we've done for the last 4 years. So
I just
appreciate
I
you,
just be
brother.
talking
Appreciate it.
smack on here. It's easier to talk when you know you're talking about things that you are interested in. Shout out to everybody who is thinking about starting a podcast. Start your podcast. We'll
Ooh,
listen.
not only that, we might help you produce it. Like
Yeah,
if you need help just getting it off the ground or even like figuring out how all that works, or if you want to hire us to produce your podcast to help you
man,
record it, like edit it together and give it back to you as something you just post up, that is also something we definitely can do. We have lots of episodes that we've done as proof that we can get the job done. So, yeah,
200 of them.
if you need a podcast produced, if you're thinking about starting one, hit up Ballinesian Productions. We will help you. We will help you.
Definitely.
Uh, yeah, we'll do the first couple for free. Shoot, uh, because yeah, hey,
I don't know about
this
all that, man, but
yeah, no,
no,
yeah, this
I'm joking.
is, and Seth talked about it on the last Polytickin episode. This, and you talk about it all the time. I'm talking about it all the time. Podcasting in such a way that we're talking and conversing about something we like and going back and forth, creating these ideas, feeling like we're building something, is such a mental health, a different kind of release and kind of activity where you can get things out and have a sounding board
Man,
and
I'm telling you.
hear your thoughts.
Man, you know
Clutch.
what? On that note, shout out to Seth, man. I listened to the podcast the other day and he had a rough time while he was out there in Sacramento
Yeah.
and then flying back home. So shout out to you, Seth, man. You ever need anything, hit us up. And I totally understand about wanting to get back and just get onto the podcast because I feel like that if I'm away from something, especially the podcast, because you know, you just able to get on and just it's like a release, but it's more than that, man. It's just, you know, you just it's your outlet. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's an
Yeah.
outlet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So shout out to you, Seth, man. Sorry that all that's happening right now, but like you said, man, you believe in God, you believe everything is cool. And yeah, man.
You get through it. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Chef.
And having the family and community
For
is
sure.
such a huge thing, having them together for support like that. And that is also why we're so grateful for our family here, our community here,
Oh, yep.
with the support um, in much the same way through, all the ups and downs in the last 4 years. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Tell a friend to tell a friend, spread the word, help us out. Is what we ask in return, and we will be here every week breaking down the greatness that is Polynesian athletics and excellence.
Hey, look, before we go, I'm gonna let you guys know right now. Vegas is hosting the Super Bowl in 2029. Today marks the day that we get ready to win the Super Bowl in 2029. As a Raiders fan, just letting you guys know it's all in place. If you guys don't see the writing on the wall, it's all in place.
All
2029.
right, he's calling it right here. Episode 200. Raiders are going to win Super Bowl 63, 64,
One of
64,
those. Both
64.
of them. Both of them.
And we will be here to cover it
Yes.
then, now, and forever. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you guys next week, and on and on and on and on and on. And stay hydrated, stay blessed, stay balling. Write us, balladesian@gmail.com or on the Instagrams. Okay. Love and light. Peace.
Go Pollies.
Yeah.